Hello, welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. Hands are in real rough shape today. I don't think you're really getting it on camera, but you see there's actually a line from washing my hands so much. Anyway, today we're going to go ahead and make a black rat using the bake shop clay. I have been making the black rats lately from the white clay and then just painting them black, specifically to avoid the bake shop clay. But today we're going to get back into a little bit of the bake shop clay and see how bad it is. If it's as bad as I remember. I do prefer the look, I think, of this bake shop clay baked compared to a white rat painted black, and I will, well, I guess now I won't, but I would have put two of them side by side. I'm trying to remember actually if the one rat I'm thinking of was a bake shop rat. Thinking of that rat with the red eyes that I ended up making two duplicates or similar rats, similar base rats. Anyway, I don't remember if that was a bake shop rat or a white rat painted black, but either way, here we are with the bake shop clay. Not as soft as it was the first time I used it, which was probably a couple weeks ago, so yeah, it does take a little bit of reconditioning. So note that, anyone who's taking notes on the videos here. And we're going to go ahead and determine what kind of rat we got. I think we got one of these boys today. And again, I am impressed by the how quick this rat just kind of molded up. So there you go, that's really quick. That's actually concerning how quick that was. And we're going to do kind of a quicker rat today too. I don't know if we should do white eyes on this rat. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, I do know I'm doing a deep socketed rat with deep eye sockets, so I'm going to go ahead and get the eye sockets on there. And again, this bake shop clay just forms very easily. So for the mesh you're dealing with, if you're going to make 3 or 4 rats, like in one session, you might as well just invest in some of this. I know it is more of a beginner clay, but I guess it really depends on what you're making. I'm not going to tell you where to spend your money. Rats have been doing pretty good. They've been getting not a lot, but a decent amount of attention, and honestly, I think the rats deserve a little bit of attention after all the negative press they receive, which is quite a bit, as longtime viewers will know. This actually is looking like it, almost cat-like, but we're not going to get into that. After that whole month of cats, I wouldn't mind if I never make a cat again after that. And I don't mind making them. I do enjoy making them. I don't enjoy the actual creatures, but I don't mind making them. And we're not going to go too crazy, I don't think, with this one here. So I'm going to kind of try a new technique that I'm thinking of right now. Yep, and it worked out. So that's just kind of lightly, very lightly rubbing the clay together there. We're going to give this one kind of a couple little tic-tac shaped kind of jaw pieces, kind of give it a kind of a gaunt. It is like a fat-faced rat already, just based on the roundness, but we are going to try to make it a little bit more gaunt. So I'll go ahead and just very quickly apply these two kind of very strong cheekbones to the rat. They're not even really cheeks, they're very gaunts, like I said. Gotta be real careful here, because this is where I start losing. Many times I lose the rat right now. I'll think, oh, okay, this rat is right here, and then I'll kind of lose the positioning. So you see kind of the eye ridges are here and here. The cheeks, jaw lines right here, and we'll strengthen that. I really want this to be kind of a gaunt rat, like I said. And there you go. That's really, for the most part, as simple as it is, that's really about it. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add a chin down here. And again, we'll do kind of a smaller chin, kind of a rigid chin on this one. And then I am going to kind of soften up these lines, because we do need room for the nose. Might pause this video at any moment, because I do hear one of the dogs starting to get a little riled up. So if he does start going crazy, I will have to pause until he cools his jets. Okay, so actually this might be the first rat that actually is turning out to be a quick rat after all the many times. Should do a compilation. I'm not going to do it, obviously. I'm very lazy with editing. That's why but a compilation of this will be a quick rat. Now that I think about it, I think I say that almost every time, and I really truly believe it. Kind of funny to think about. Okay, so we got all our rat pieces in place. You see the cheek here, the other cheek here. We got the lips now here. Chin right here. I think this rat's actually coming together here for us for once. Although, every time I try to speak too soon, we already know the outcome. Something will happen. If anyone watches my other channel, you know the old lady I did with the cheek situation. It was said to be one of the quickest builds I've ever done, and then something happened with the eyes, and I spent I have no idea, honestly, probably 40 minutes just going back and forth over very minor details, it is something I tend to do quite a bit, and we will be working on that over time. It's important to acknowledge the stuff you gotta work on. I actually kind of really like that. This rat's actually doing fairly well, I would say. I'm gonna pull some of this clay back here. And again, thoroughly impressed by this Bake Shop clay, even though it is going to take me an eternity to get it off my hands. I'll take that clay off your hands. Alright, now we're going to use the ball tool for the eyes on this rat, and I think I'm going to place them kind of high. And the technique here, that might actually not even be big enough for the eye shape that I'm going for. That's better, so I gotta dig it. This is kind of a really wide-faced rat, it looks like. And you see the clay, once it heats up, you start losing you start losing control of the clay. Okay, so this rat looks like it's pretty good. We're going to determine what color eyes this guy's getting. I think this might be a white-eyed rat with white eyes, maybe, and maybe a pink nose and pink ears on this one. I don't know yet. Kind of trying to, here we go again with the eye thing. Kind of trying to match these eyes up a little bit. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and give this guy a couple of ears. We're not going to go overkill on the ears, as I've done so many times before. I'll just give this one kind of smaller ears, nothing too. We're not going to give it tiny little ears, but we are going to give it slightly smaller ears. Kind of just shape them the way you want them. And then find your ear location. Everyone knows, long-time viewers will tell you, this is something that I always say, that I know that it is a struggle in the beginning to find and place ears easily. And I always say the same thing, just don't overthink it, don't overwork it. Just kind of find the ear placement, you know, as quick as you can. And then every time, I almost on cue, I overthink it and overwork it as soon as I say not to. So just find your ear placement. But as you do know, again, long-time viewers, that as you do know, you need to make sure that ear's on there, folks. You cannot ship a rat out with insecure ears. It's just, I think it's against the Geneva Convention, actually. It is a major violation to have someone get their rat and then something, God forbid, happens to the ears. I'm going to strengthen up these kind of lines a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but kind of just not rounded, I'm kind of actually squaring it out a little bit. Really like this rat. This one's gonna do really well, hopefully in the eyes of the viewers. We're gonna go ahead and sign it before I forget. EC right there. And we are going to find our whisker tool, which I believe I have 3 at this point. I do need a straighter whisker tool. Early on in the video portion of my journey with the rats, I lost my first videos, the first whisker tool I was using in the videos, which was it's like a sewing needle, and I never found it. So there's essentially what I'm saying is there is a sewing needle somewhere right here at the workstation, and any day it could just stick me, I guess. Doesn't seem to have reared its ugly head, so we'll just disregard it until it's an issue, I guess. Doesn't sound like the right way to handle it, but that's what I've been doing. It's working so far. Whisker placement's not perfect, but I think we can kind of just, yeah, that's better. Shimmy that. And then I just want to lightly brush the front of this rat. I want to kind of soften up some of these lines very quickly. Nothing, again, I get into the point where we get to an overwork on the rat, and that's when you really start having your issues, when you start overworking your rat. So work the rat, get the rat where you want it, but whatever for for whatever reason that you feel like you need to overwork the rat, you need to learn when to step away. A lot of people will sand down their play creations and things like that. I don't do that. You can, obviously. If that's something you choose to do, so be it. But I kind of like the rough look, as people may or may not know. I do say it a lot in the videos. And I don't know, check the time on this video. Maybe the time hasn't gone as quick as I feel like, but I do feel like this is one of the quicker rats on channel history. So there's that information. Anyway, that's it. We'll get this boy in the oven and come back when it's time to do the rest of it. Hello, you might notice that this rat is not baked. I don't know how you would really be able to tell that, but good eye if you noticed. I am back real quick because what I haven't done in a while, first we'll give this rat a couple little eyes, but what I noticed that I haven't been doing anymore is making my world famous cigarette rats. So what I'm gonna do for the first time in a while is I'm gonna turn this rat right here into a cigarette rat, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll a ton of cigarettes, or not a ton, a few cigarettes. Like I got a bag of teeth, fangs for the cats. I'm gonna make a bunch of little cigarettes for my rats, because it is a sad thing that I haven't made any cigarette rats in a while. So I kind of like that. That eye's not really fully in. That eye's a little looser, but I think I kind of like that. So we're gonna make, here's how you make cigarettes. You just take tiny little pieces of clay like this, and guess what? Can you guess? That's it. You roll them. So roll in a couple little fatties for this boy. This might be our first, oh, that's a crazy one. This might be our first triple cigarette rat. Give this guy like 3 cigarettes. Chain smoker rat. That's a really good one too. So you really want to just bake these for like probably 2-3 minutes, and then that's a bat right there. Can you see this? I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here. So this is, since it is a shorter kind of segment, so it's shorter video, we will just make a bunch of cigs for these guys. And I don't need like 1,000 of them, but there you go. At least a dozen, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Baker's dozen. So what I'm gonna do now, I should clean this table off. It's not dirty, it's just stuff all over the place. So what I'll do now, I'll preset the oven. We're gonna go 275 on the oven. And I'm just going to put these little smokes, we'll call them, because we don't know if they're cigarettes. We'll put them in the oven for like 3 minutes. And then we'll let them, I might give them 5 minutes, I don't know. I'll give them 3 minutes. And then we'll take them out. We'll keep this unbaked for now. And then that way we can kind of just stuff one of the cigarettes. Will get harder. The rat is still soft out of clay. One right in there, and you got yourself a great cigarette rat. So we will be back when it's time to paint this rat and whisker this rat. Okay, I'm back from the oven with these cigarettes, and you got to be real careful with these because one false move and these are going to end up confused as fangs. So what I'm going to do is just select at least one. I'm thinking I might do a triple cigarette rat, and I know this sounds crazy, but I think the world might be ready for the triple cigarette rat. Give him at least one. Okay, the one looked really good. I'm thinking like 1, 2, 3, but I don't know. My only concern with the triple cigarette is, will people know what I'm going for with the triple cigarettes? Okay. These, by the way, I baked for like 3 minutes each. I didn't want to go too crazy with that. Let's kind of see what it would look like. 1, 2, 3. 3. I think 3 might be a lot. I'm really scared right now to do it, which is kind of crazy because I'm normally pretty comfortable with stuff like that. I think it's a good rat. I think it's... My main concern is I don't want people to think they're teeth. I will be putting a little red flame indicating that it is a lit cigarette, but I am concerned. So we're going to save the idea, I think, of the triple cigarette rat until a later date, but for now I will bake this rat, and we will be back, to paint and whisker it up. We are back from the oven with this little cigarette rat here to add a couple small details and to add the whiskers. So we're just going to start off with the basic details that I like to do on basically every single rat. Okay, so I'll let that dry for just a second, and we will come back and just touch that up one more time. We're going to go ahead and give this rat a couple eyeballs, a couple pupils here. Wait for both of these to kind of dry up just a little bit before we go back in. We got to do the whiskers. Got to be very careful with that cigarette. Don't think I let that dry enough. Actually don't mind that look though. Kind of faded out looking, not as sharp. Maybe we'll just hit the side with that same. Yeah, I actually don't mind that at all. A good trick that I found out on the internet with these, these Jelly Roll pens. I've had this one and it has not worked since I got it. It's a size 5. It has a size 8 cap. But I was reading online because I feel like I didn't get a lot of, I did get a lot of use, but most of my usage on these is just like a couple quick lines here and there. So the trick that I found out is if you just get your hands here and kind of just roll them for like 30 seconds, what you're really trying to do is just heat them up. So you could just hold them for a while. But I tried it and I actually did get both of these working. So if you have a Jelly Roll pen that you're getting ready to get rid of, just try that first, because I was getting ready to get rid of both of those. Okay, that's just a quick tip right there. So we want to get this basically just about centered, and I think right about here we'll do it. The key to all of this is just realizing that none of this actually is going to ever matter. You're just having a little bit of fun. So again, this is my one of my oldest paints I ever had. I want to say this paint might be like almost 20 at this point. And I'm just gonna go a little bit out of bounds right now. Go a little bit crazy, and I'm just gonna kind of dip that cigarette in the paint. How about that? That's a nice little effect right there. So this, going forward, might just be cigarette only paint. You know what? It is. I'm never going to read that, but we'll know it's there. Okay. Next thing, I just want to do a couple ears here. We got the powder pink, which would be a nice option, I think, with this rat. And we got the rose, which may be a little bit too, it might be a nice option with this rat as well. Let's take a look at our options. This one's a much lighter pink. This one's almost more of a purple. I think we'll go with the powder pink on this rat. I'll just put a little bit on, honestly, on a receipt paper. And we'll look through our brushes. And I'm just going to basically scratch a little bit on each ear, not going too crazy here. We will be able to come back and touch this up later if we wanted to. We'll go a little bit further on this one. And then we're going to go ahead and give the nose kind of the nose will, this obviously will need a couple coats. It's very translucent, transparent color kind of paint. Okay, so before I come back with another coat, obviously we're going to let that dry. So now we'll go to what longtime viewers will know is one of the banes of this process for me. I enjoy almost all of the process, but I do fight. It's not too bad because it is like a quick thing. No matter no matter how you cut it, it's still like maybe 2-3 minutes. But I do not love putting the whiskers in because lately they've been really giving me hell. But I'm sure a lot of people who make rats will tell you the same thing. Gotta be very careful with this one. So already we're kind of experiencing you see, I don't want it going backwards like that. So we already kind of are going to fight this thing starting right off the bat. Whisker 1 of 6, really already setting the tone for this whisker build here. And it still kind of wants to fight, but it's in position there, but we'll see if it remains. I do want it to be maybe pushed a little bit back, but what I'm going to do is just get all the whiskers kind of in, and then I'll worry about, obviously that's not going to work. I'll have to get them, we'll honestly have to get them one at a time, but the whisker placement is fairly important when it comes to your rats. You want them to look kind of, they don't have to be perfect, but you don't want one going forward and one going backward, anything crazy like that. Like what I would like is these two to remain a little bit separate, like this. But what you like and what you get in the world of rats is very often not the same thing. So We'll see how those end up. They will be getting cut a lot shorter than this. I accidentally made, well, I purposely made large whiskers, but I accidentally made them a little bit too large. And the reason I do them a little large is so that I can determine the length by reduction, so you can cut them and decide what you want. So the front, obviously we do not want that all the way behind your other ones, so now I gotta move these around, figure out what's going on here. There we go. And ideally, I guess ideally is just at this point, whatever, we'll take what we can get with a lot of these whisker jobs lately, because these rats will give you hell all the way if they have the chance. So don't let the whiskers stress you out. Just do what you can do. Have fun with it, and don't worry too much. But obviously you do want to try at least to have them moderately, in place. This is a classic no lip rat, by the way, where you don't paint the lips, and this is in honor of I can't remember if it was my first or second cigarette rat. It's there's one that's like tall with black ears, and there's one that's like kind of fat, the cabbie rat I call it. This is in honor of that rat. That's the reason I didn't give this rat any lip coloring, but I also do think that sometimes it looks better. Like if you have paper thin lips, you don't really need to go in there and give that rat any coloration on those lips. You just can get away with once in a while kind of just not going too overboard. Now right there, crucial error. I don't know if you saw that. I got too much. The super glue went too far down the actual physical whisker, and that will cause you a ton of issues later on down the line. So take that whisker out, chalk that one up to the game, and get the hell out of there. Now that one stayed in place pretty easy. I'm wondering if I'm using maybe too much glue on the whiskers. And this is why the last few videos I did not bring everybody along for the whisker process. And I wouldn't be offended if you skip right past the whisker process just to check out the final outcome. I would not be offended at all if that's what people wanted to do, because it's not the most exciting thing in the world. I'm just, I lost our man. We lost our cigarette. Okay, so this rat might as well be scrapped at this point. Lost the cigarette. I actually can't believe that. Although the cigarette, the part that was the cigarette now does kind of look like a single tooth, which is kind of funny in itself. I honestly can't believe we lost a cigarette like that. I must have flew too close to the sun there with that whisker. So, wow, okay. So you see, now I'm scared to touch the rat. So now you gotta determine, is it worth it to try to get that whisker back on there, or the cigarette back in there? Or do you just leave this as a one-tooth kind of oddity rat, which I might actually just end up doing that. This whisker's giving me absolute hell. We're getting super glue all over the rat. This is the part where the process actually is having a full breakdown. And this is where you see the ill effects of not making your whisker holes deep enough. This is where it really comes into play, and this is where you really see the dark side of the rat making process. So we lost our cigarette. We now have a broken cigarette in this rat's mouth, and I thought this rat was on track for all-star potential, but unfortunately we are now dealing with a very goofy kind of you know, shell of a rat, if you will. Unfortunately, that super glue on the face is going to cost us. It's not the best look, and now I'm glued to one of the whiskers. Okay, so the super glue on the face right here is going to actually cost us big time down the line. That is not going to look good when that dries. Anyway, I guess we got our first kind of single tooth, kind of goofy rat, and that's what we're running with on this one. So if you can see it, and I don't mind that either. It's kind of the natural progression of things, but I don't like the super glue on the face at all. Okay, so real quick while we're here, we will just kind of glob up these ears a little better, get this nose kind of painted up a little better. I think I will have to do one more coat off camera of the nose and ear paint. You just basically don't want it to be transparent. You want it to be pretty opaque. For the ears, you can leave it a little bit transparent, because that would kind of give the effect of fur, which rats do have fur on the ears, so it is realistic. But yeah, that's pretty much where maybe I can just slap this extra coat on now. And you can tell when I get disgusted I just become super downtrodden, and I would say in this case for very good reason. This rat was on track to stardom. This rat was the rat that could have been, I guess, and now you see the fruits of man, I don't know, maybe I still like it. Maybe I just need to give it time, but the glue is going to be a problem, that super glue that got on its face, but I'm not going to take it off, we're going to leave it. And we will be back with final pictures of this rat.